going to open up with a brief statement from the coach, and then we'll take some questions after that.
Yep. Appreciate you guys coming out for sure. I know we've had with crossover season, football, men's basketball, women's basketball, there's a lot going on. Really appreciate our administration and everything that goes into all these home games right now. Hats off to Southern Indiana. I think that's a group of young ladies that play really hard. I think very well coached. Proud of our players. I think we're in a situation where there's a lot of things that are going well, but still room for a lot of improvement. And I thought we did make some strides over the last couple days, especially from our transition defense standpoint. That was much better. I think our communication's better, not quite where I want it yet, but definitely better. We're making strides. Half court, we've still got work to do, and we just got to be committed to the process. And I know who's in that locker room, and I know what they're about, and I know that it's an area they want to embrace and continue to get better at. But I think anytime you have a night where you have 23 assists on 34 made field goals, that's a pretty darn good night. Thought we shot it well. Thought we had good ball movement. Thought we really got out and ran in transition, which is something that I think our girls are really enjoying, and give a lot of credit to Mama. She does such a great job pushing the tempo. So definitely a lot of really positive things, and certainly early in the season, and we still have a lot to work on.
Questions?
Robin, there's a point in the first quarter, I think you were up 8-7, and all of a sudden it's 13-8. I know you didn't call timeout. What was the thought process of just kind of letting things figure out for them?
Yeah, it was just a little bit of a clunky start. Had some just unnecessary turnovers. It felt like we had a lot more than what we had. I looked down and we had 4, and it felt like about 14, probably just because they were unnecessary. But I think we've got a lot of firepower. I think we've got a very balanced scoring attack. I think we've got, a lot of times Angie, our 5-man, doesn't get a lot of credit, but they do a great job running in transition in that first post. And, it draws defenders in, and so that really allows for those kick-out threes. And Mama does a great job getting a piece of the paint. And there's going to be opportunities for our rim runners to get shots too. And so it's a balance of inside out, off the bounce, in the three. But I thought, for the most part, pretty good ball movement.
Coach, 10 total threes between Ashton and Haley. Just what did you see from them beyond the arc tonight?
Not surprised, really happy for them, happy for our team. But, I think I say this every time, but their work outside of what's required is just, I just have so much respect for, the amount of time that they pour into their craft. And so when, everyone wants to know, like somebody was just asking about Ashton today, and I mean, she's a young lady that in the gym twice a day, almost every day since April. It's not surprised that she's doing what she's doing, and Frankie's the same way. I think collectively our team does a really good job of getting in outside of what's required, coming up to watch film, and all that stuff matters. So, like I said, I think there's a lot of firepower on our team. I think the more balanced we can be, it's going to serve us that much better.
And how do you think some of the off-ball movement and relocation shape some of those opportunities from three?
Yeah, sometimes there's not an opportunity to have any off-ball movement because we shoot it so quickly. But, still areas that we've got to get better at. There's possessions where our spacing's not on point. There's opportunities to get involved in some screening action. We get caught ball watching a little bit. And so definitely still a lot of things that, I think it's going to be exciting to continue to fine-tune offensively. But all of our focus right now, to be honest with you, is on that defensive end. And we got to find a way to be more connected and more assignment correct. And I thought we took a big step forward tonight, which was very, very important. And we spent a lot of time in practice the last couple of days on defense. And so it's good to see us take a step forward with that, but with also understanding that we still got a lot of work to do.
Ashton and Angie, from your point of view, what was the defensive communication like tonight?
Compared to what it has been, it's been a lot better. I think there are still some areas that we can clean up, and there are still a couple possessions where we didn't communicate like we should, but after the past couple of days of practice and how much we've emphasized it, I think it's looking a lot better. So
I think that we had more intensity tonight, and I think that we were putting out fires for each other, moving, and, as for me, keeping my hands off, moving my feet. But I think we did a good job just being, having that intensity, energy, and I think from the jump, and that translated throughout the game.
Ashton, Coach already talked about your three-point game, but you were also able to extend the play, get into that lane. You shot 7 free throws, made 6 of them. How were you able to get into that lane and play more aggressive?
I think a lot of that comes back to my teammates. I think everybody had a solid game tonight, and that was able to spread the floor, and people had to respect their one-on-one matchups, so that just really opened up the court for not only me but everybody else, so it made it really easy.
Coach, when you see defenders really backing off Mama at the three-point line, I mean, when she hits two of her 4 threes tonight, I mean, do you tell her to keep shooting when she's that open, or what do you tell her when she's in charge of the offense in that part?
Yeah, we want her to trust her feel. She works extremely hard. She creates a lot of shot opportunities. We have some looks that we've tried to incorporate a little bit, knowing how teams have been playing her, that I think are going to be really, really effective. But also, when you work that hard, you can take a couple. And I always say, if you feel good and they're in rhythm, let it fly. But also, here's some other options that we can still be really effective with our offense. And, I think maybe in the past that's hijacked her a little bit, mentally, but I think she's in a really, really good space right now. She understands the value that she brings and the way she elevates everybody around her. I think Mama's had an incredible start to her senior year.
Angelique, personal fouls have been an issue for your team moving forward, but look at this one, only 11 fouls. You only sent him to the line 8 times. How are you able to make a strides on that and foul less on your end?
Just watching a lot of film, knowing, picking up the little things and just knowing like the tic-tac fouls are not worth it. But honestly, just watching a lot of film, knowing, where my hands are, where my feet are, just moving, getting low. So it's just been something that I've been, working on my own. But also the coaches have been helping me a lot. If I want to stay on the floor, I have to limit those things. So I think I did a better job of it tonight.
Coaches, the 11 total fouls, is that a byproduct of better communication, that you're just in better situations defensively?
I think they're hopefully, we've talked about it a lot, but it does come down to watching film and just seeing the times that we're bailing people out, instead of making them hit a tough contested shot, just getting a little too aggressive and putting them at the free throw line. But that's definitely a point of emphasis. So I think we improved in that area. I think we improved with our transition defense. Communication was better, not where we want it to be, but better. Half-court defense, I think we showed signs at times, but we've got to get that a heck of a lot more consistent throughout the 40 minutes.
Coach, you were running Haley as that trail lady, coming up right behind, working at the top of the key a lot. What has been working with that all season, specifically tonight?
Yeah, I think Mama does a really good job of just reading the court. Tonight there were some opportunities for some pitch-back action, and I think that's when Mama's at her best, when she's getting a piece of that paint and just finding the shooters. And regardless if it's kick-aheads or pitch action, give a lot of credit to Mama, but also in addition to that, just the work that everybody's putting in collectively outside, of what's required, and their ability to knock down shots. It's one thing to create the shot, it's another to knock it down, and that comes from hours and hours of training outside of practice.
Coach, the double point guard lineup with both Mama and Abby Schreck out there, I think it came out maybe once in each half. Just what do you like about having both of them on the floor at the same time, and what does that open up for you?
Yeah, not having Avery Kroenke out there right now is really unfortunate for our team. I think, she was playing really, really, really well. And, I think when you talk about tempo, if you think we're playing fast now, she's a kid that elevates us even to that next level, both on the offense and defensive end. And so right now, it's just another guard rotation. And so just trying to be mindful of minutes and rotations. And so without Avery, sometimes that's just the next rotation sub that, where we're at right now. So hopefully we'll have Avery back sooner than later. That's a big piece she had an incredible off season, was playing really well. So when we can get her back, added depth, I think that'll change rotations a little bit.
Ashton, another 20-piece for you tonight. I mean, when the ball in the offense is flowing through Mama, how does it help you get to that point in the offense where you're scoring 20-plus points?
I mean, Mama's such a good facilitator. I think she's one of the most unselfish players that we have, and honestly looks for everybody else's shot before hers. So I got to give her a lot of credit for just making the extra pass and always scanning the court. So it's all on her.
Any more questions?
Ashton and Angie, you guys are coming up on your first big road trip, heading down to Daytona Beach. What are you looking forward to and really trying to take out of this trip heading into later this week?
I mean, obviously the chance just to get to play at a different location. I feel like we've had majority of our games have been home games, so just a different venue, and I think just the team time that we get to spend together. It's our first away trip, like true away trip, so it'll be fun.
Take
Yeah.
one more if everybody has it.
I was gonna say, yeah, I agree, and I'm just excited because we're figuring out, everything on the defensive end. So just bringing that down to Florida and continuing it. So I feel really good about that.
Anybody got one more?
Angie, 5 offensive rebounds. Just what were you feeling on that end of the floor off the glass?
Just carving out space, rebounding out of my area. Every rebound is mine going up. So just continuing to have that mentality, but just working hard, being physical, and just knowing where I am.
Perfect. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.